Hey y'all, it's Brody, and today I'm here to do the Cemetery Boys book tag. This tag was created by my friend Audrey over at Perpetual Pages, and I've been tagged, I think, by like 3 other people to do it, so I decided since I finally read Cemetery Boys in the month of October, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna film the tag for you. If you're not aware, Cemetery Boys is a debut novel by Aiden Thomas. It is a trans-Latinx urban fantasy paranormal romance. I will leave the Goodreads for it linked down below so you can check it out if you're not for some reason aware of what this book is about. But the long story short, it's about YADRIEL, who is trying to come into his own, doing his quinces, which are rituals that cause brujos and brujas to reach their full power. And there's an accident during his ritual, and he accidentally summons the ghost of the school's resident bad boy, Julian Diaz. I did not read this. I devoured this book, and I have thought about putting up a full review video, but I still, even almost a month later, don't have my thoughts in order about all the things that this book made me feel. This was created by my friend Audrey, who has been pumping out Cemetery Boys content non-stop. I will leave some of their videos linked down below, so make sure you go check them out and subscribe to them. The first prompt is YADRIEL, who is the main character of Cemetery Boys, and the prompt to go along with YADRIEL is name a book that was underhyped that exceeded your expectations. For me, that's Cattywampus by Ash von Otterloo. Now I understand this is the 2020 debut, which God bless everyone who is debuting in 2020. But I have not heard enough people talking about this soft, queer, magical Appalachian story. Like, y'all, this book hit me so hard. I can't wait to see what Ash does next. I've been waiting. I'm like, hi, can you please send me the arc of your second book whenever that's ready, please? Next we have Julian, and for this, it is a book that does not stick to one genre. I have an October read, one I haven't talked about yet on my channel, and that is Blaze Wrath Games by Amparo Ortiz. This, how do I even describe this? It's like How to Train Your Dragon, if How to Train Your Dragon was an international sport. So this follows teenager Lana Torres, who is a big fan of this event called Blaze Wrath, right? That's the games in this book, the magical games. And she's always wanted to be a Blaze Wrath player. And then one day, after she kind of saves this store from a dragon attack, she gets the opportunity to join the Blaze Wrath team for Puerto Rico. Like an urban fantasy, crime, political intrigue, coming of age. I don't even know how all those words make sense together, but this book did the damn thing. Next is MARITZA, and the prompt for this one is a book that helped you or got you through a difficult time. For me, that's going to be Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Tristan Matier. I don't talk about it a lot, but I practice witchcraft, and I am pagan, and I am a follower of Aphrodite. And there was a time where I felt very disconnected from my practice, right? I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling the call or whatever term you want to put on it. I wasn't feeling it. And then I picked up this book and it all just came rushing back to me. I'm very overdue for a reread on this, but this is a poetry collection that talks about Aphrodite and self-love and loving other people. The next prompt is QUINCES, and for this, it's your favorite coming-of-age story. I have a hard time picking coming-of-age stories because I have kind of fallen out of reading contemporary, and I feel like the traditional coming-of-age stories are all contemporaries. I have one that I haven't talked about a lot on my channel, and that is He Who Dreams by Melanie Florence. This follows a boy who kind of has his feet in 2 different worlds, and he's too native for white people, and he's too white for native people, and he feels a disconnect from his heritage, and this book is about him like reclaiming that and learning how to do his thing and learning to be a proud indigenous person, and that's something that I really love and something that I really connected to. Next is Dia de Muertos, and for this, it's a backlist book that you wish we could bring back and hype up again. So I have Angel Fall by Susan E. This was my favorite of the post-Hunger Games YA dystopian fantasy type deals. So this follows a girl named Penryn and her family as they are living through the end times after the rapture. Yes, this is based on like rapture and Christian belief systems. It's the first in a trilogy. Where are the other 2? I read these in my post-Hunger Games slump, and I loved all of them. I tabbed the first one. I want to do a reread of these. If you want to buddy read these, let me know, because I've been meaning to do a reread for a while. I don't know, I feel like they just didn't get the hype, and I love them, and I never understood why more people weren't talking about them. I feel like early days of booktube, people were kind of talking about it, not as much as things like The Maze Runner and Hunger Games and The Selection and all that, when I think that these were like infinitely better. The next prompt is Pen de Muerto, and for this, it's a book that you wish you could offer or give to your loved ones. And this was a hard one to pick too. This was a very difficult tag to film because it's so personal. But for me, the book that I think I would most like to give to my loved ones is Reverie by Ryan LaSala. I also read this at a very difficult point in my life. It was recent after I had moved from Alabama to Orlando, and I was having trouble finding my place. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know where I was going in life, right? Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. And this book kind of it sounds so stupid, but this book kind of helped me learn what I wanted out of life, and it gave me the feeling of being able to breathe again. Yeah, I would say Reverie by Ryan LaSala. I feel like this is one that everyone should read when you're to that point in your life, because it helped me infinitely. The next prompt is Tether, and in Cemetery Boys, a tether is like the item that the ghosts latch onto. So for this, it's a book that you feel connected to. It's gonna be There by Tommy Orange. I have screamed my love about this book on my channel for a year now. I feel like this isn't something that you need to hear again, so I'm gonna keep this one very brief, but this book is just my experience being an urban native person. This book deals a lot with things that I didn't know how to put into words until I read it. And if you want to get to know me and have a better understanding of me, I would recommend you check this one out. Next one is Portaje, and for this, it's a book that was passed on to you. Both of these come from Will, and they are recent acquisitions to my collection. You just saw what one of them was. The first one is Gustavo, the Shy Ghost. This is one that kind of just happened by fate. I was talking about it on Twitter, and Will saw my tweet and decided to get it for me, and then read it to me, and we both cried, and it was very soft. The next one is the Clive Barker's The Thief of Always. I had been talking to Will about how I had never read a Clive Barker before, and we took a bookstore trip, and Will was just kind of like, okay, like I'm just gonna check out the comic books and go, and I didn't know that they purchased that for me until we got home, and they were like, hey, I got you a surprise. So both of those things, I feel they kind of passed to me, and that makes them feel a little more special. Next prompt is a wet binder. This is probably my favorite of all of the prompts, and this is because, as Audrey said in their video, at any point in Cemetery Boys, you know exactly what's going on with YADRIEL's binder. This was a very clever prompt to include, and it's a book that you're stuck on. And for me, the book that I've been stuck on since I read it, I haven't quit talking about it, is The Latsway by Darcy Little Badger. I have a full spoiler-free review video of this. You can go check it out. I feel like I've talked about this book in every single video since I read it, and I feel like this is becoming my 2020 book. So, brief plot synopsis. This follows a Lapanapachi girl named Elatsue who is trying to solve the murder and get justice for her cousin who visits her in a dream. Ellie has the power to raise the dead and talk to the ghosts of animals, and I've been describing it as a speculative, surreal, urban fantasy whodunit. Final question is Percaso, and for this, it's a soft book that you really love. Percaso is YADRIEL's cat. I feel like you already know the answer to that, but that is Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu and Suzanne Walker. I got this as an ARC. I have read this book 3 times since I read the ARC. It's a graphic novel that follows a queer, hard-of-hearing witch and her love interest, who is a non-binary werewolf, as they do a Save the Town thing. And I've said on Twitter that reading this book feels like going home for me. And it's just a soft, quiet, queer love story with magic, and that's everything that I want out of a book. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and all that good junk. Comment question of the day. I want you to answer one of the tag questions down below. let me know a backlist book that you wish that we could bring back and hype up. I think that's my favorite actual prompt from the tag, so let me know some of your favorite backlist titles. If you don't have time, you don't have the spoons, you don't want to answer, you don't have an answer, what the fuck ever, leave me an emoji, preferably a yellow heart, so I know you made it all the way until the end of the video. Everything I mentioned will be down in the description, including links to Audrey's channel and Audrey's videos, so make sure you go support them. And then if you click on the link tree down there, you can find all of my social medias, so my Instagram, my Twitter, my Goodreads, as well as places to support me further, like my PayPal and my coffee, if you so choose. And if you want to buy me a book, I have my Amazon wishlist down there as well. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful, whatever it is, wherever you are. I will see you next time with another video. Thank you for watching. Okay, cool, bye!